The chief guest of the occasion, lively and lovely team of student guests, revered representatives of the school management, the learned and languaged, and ladies and gentlemen, Namaste. I, Srivash of grade 8, here with my team Yoshita, Sanjana, Vijay Lakshmi, and Kritika, are privileged to complete the wonderful valedictory celebrations of Schoolympics 2023. This stupendous day, which is going to witness the Schoolympics 2023, drawing to a close in all its grand, has a distinction as it coincides with the birth anniversary of the first Prime Minister of India, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru. In the esteemed presence of Srimati K. Lata Kumari Garu, Deputy Superintendent of Police Subdivisional Police Officer Pedapuram, as the chief guest of the occasion, the grand valedictory celebrations gained added momentum with the winners and runners in various contests, cutting across sports, literary, media skills, cultural, art and craft, having exhibited a breadth of sportsmanship, spirit of camaraderie, sense of direction, and above all, the height of participatory zeal. The spirit of Schoolympics thrives on the saying that a healthy mind and a healthy body makes all the difference while consistently balancing both curricular and co- and extracurricular activities in tandem. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the student, staff, and school management, we warmly extend a hearty welcome to you all in this grand valedictory function of School Olympics 2023. Thank you, one and all.
And gentlemen, taking the prize distribution ritual still further, we'd like to request beloved Murthy sir to give away the prizes to the winners of LKG. Atrav Krishna Kartikeya, Elena Kati Mahanti, won in ball and bucket, first prize. Let Danya Srishatya Vikshita, won in paper plate mask making, second prize. Give her a big round of applause. Kartikeya Lenin Kaputi, won in fancy dress competition. He got third prize. Lakshmi Venkateshulu, won in hop race. He got second prize. Likit Suri, won in frog jumping, third prize. Moksha Venkata Durga, won in paper plate making mask. He got first prize. Satya Vishwak Nandan got third place in running race. Shrista Sai Bala Adita won in fancy dress competition, first prize, and ball in the bucket, third prize. Srivalli Rashmita won in hop race, third prize. Varun Ritvik won in frog jumping, first prize, hop race, first prize. Vasva Shujan won in ball in the bucket, second prize, and running race, second prize. Venkatadeva won in paper plate mask making, third prize. Arun Kumar Kari won in rhymes, third prize. At last, Chaitra won in rhymes second prize. Mokshika Relangi won in rhymes first prize.
Coming to category A, Charvi Kadian Kotipalli of UKG Empathy secured second rank in fancy dress, third rank in rhymes. DS Shanmugh Gogu of UKG Empathy secured first place in paper plate mask making, second place in hoe press, third place in ball in the bucket. I request everybody to give a big round of applause to these small kids. Hanvika Deepanvita Koniti of UKG Empathy secured first rank in running race. Parthiv Sai Nihan Buredi of UKG Empathy secured first place in fancy dress. Danshivi Penumati of UKG Honesty secured third place in running race. Naga Srinath Kakarla of UKG Honesty secured third place in frog jump. Shrestha Joy Gidla of UKG Honesty secured second place in ball in the bucket. Dihan Srikar Darabala of UKG Honesty secured first place in frog jump, first place in hop race. Vijaya Aradhya Kasi of UKG Honesty secured first place in ball in the bucket, second place in running race, third place in hop race. Now category B. Hitanshi Pulugu of First Empathy secured second place in storytelling. Jashrita Manchim of First Empathy secured second place in hop race. Krishna Vinayak Sai Bharadwaj Sandaka of First Empathy secured first place in ball in the bucket, second place in running race, third place in spell bee. Naga Pravasti Bichik of First Empathy secured third place in storytelling. Puneet Mala of First Empathy secured third place in origami. Manda of first empathy secured first place in origami and second place in skip race. Sai Sahrudaya Dasari of first empathy secured first place in spell bee. Satya Tanviha Eetha Kota of first empathy secured first place in fancy dress. Sridash Bikin of first empathy secured second place in ups. Venkata Chandani Rongal of first empathy secured second place in spell bee. Divija Jaya community of first honesty secured second place in bar in the bucket, second place in fancy dress, second place in song. Imam Mahir Sheikh of first honesty secured first place in hoop race, first place in running race, first place in skip race. I request everybody to give a big round of applause. Litika Ilumalai of first honesty secured third place in bar in the bucket. Maitili Vashika Patam City of first honesty secured third place in hoop race. Pandab Sanjana of first honesty secured third place in song. Rajarshita Kandul of first honesty secured first place in song. Sri Kisan Penigunda of first honesty secured third place in fancy dress. Triyansh Surya Veer Kalidindi of first honesty secured first place in storytelling. Second place. We are having extra. Ananya Yadla of second empathy secured first place. Shirasvi Prajna Purareddy of second empathy got first place in song, second place in storytelling, third place in spelling. Jayadeep Sai Dasari of second empathy secured third place in skip race. Sai Arun of second empathy secured third place. Satyasri Sai Rama Danish Raju Desapalli of second empathy secured second place in origami. Sri Krishna Chaurya Ilapakoti of second empathy secured second place in fancy dress. Sri Venkata Devash Sanipini of second empathy secured first place in ball in the bucket. Sriyan Chaudhary Devrapalli of second empathy secured third place in storytelling. Vijayaram Spandan Gurnisi of 2nd Empathy secured 2nd place in running race, 3rd place in hope race. Abhay Ram Gadigatla of 2nd Honesty secured 2nd place in skip race. Ajay Allah of 2nd Honesty secured 3rd place in running race. Geetika Ayappa of 2nd Honesty secured 1st place in Spelby. Geetika Ayappa of 2nd Honesty secured 1st place in Spelby. Idita Vemula of 2nd Honesty secured 1st place in Origami. Karthik Paturi of 2nd Honesty secured 2nd place in ball in the bucket. Shran Meeraj Tool of 2nd Honesty secured 1st place in skip race, 1st place in storytelling and 2nd place in hop race. Sriman Namagiri of 2nd Honesty secured 3rd place in fancy dress. Srijan Neeraj Tool of 2nd Honesty secured 1st place in hop race, 1st place in running race and 2nd place in song. Suvarna Srijan Allah of 2nd Honesty secured 2nd place in Spelby.
In Microsoft Excel to write formulas, create reports, analyze your data and automate your work to work 10 times faster. This will help you easily get a 40% plus salary appraisal this year, as you will be able to finish all your work in 1/10 the time. All of this at just ₹99 today, and the best part is, if you register before tonight, I'm also giving you bonuses worth ₹16,500 for absolutely free.
Category
So,
B,
click on the
Abdul
link below.
The act of propitiating the God Almighty for a highest devotional song is believed to bestow the rich combination of divine blessings and best wishes. Now I'd like to request the God team to sing the song Garuda Gamana, which bagged the first prize in singing competition in the Schoolympics 2020.
मनसिल सतु मम नित्यं गरुडगमन तव चरणकमलमिह मनसिल सतु मम नित्यं मनसिल सतु मम नित्यं मम तापमपाकुरु देवा मम पापमपाकुरु देवा मम तापमपाकुरु देवा मम पापमपाकुरु देवा जलजनयनमिति नमुचिहरनमुखविभुत विनुत पदपद्मा जलजनयनमिति नमुचिहरनमुखविभुत विनुत पदपद्मा विभुत विनुत पदपद्मा मम तापमपाकुरु देवा मम पापमपाकुरु देवा मम तापमपाकुरु देवा मम पापमपाकुरु देवा भुज
भुजगशयन भव मदन जनक मम जनन मरण भयहारी भुजगशयन भव मदन जनक मम जनन मरण भयहारी जनन मरण भयहारी मम तापम पाकुरुदेवा मम पापम पाकुरुदेवा मम तापम पाकुरुदेवा मम पापम पाकुरुदेवा शङ्खचक्रधर दुष्टदैत्यहर सर्वलोकशरणा शङ्खचक्रधर दुष्टदैत्यहर सर्वलोकशरणा सर्वलोकशरणा मम तापम पाकुरुदेवा मम पापम पाकुरुदेवा मम तापम पाकुरुदेवा मम पापम पाकुरुदेवा भक्तवर्यमिह भूरि करुणया पाहि भारतीतीर्थम् भक्तवर्यमिह भूरि करुणया पाहि भारतीतीर्थम् पाहि भारतीतीर्थम् मम तापम पाकुरुदेवा मम पापम पाकुरुदेवा मम तापम पाकुरुदेवा मम पापम पाकुरुदेवा गरुडगमन तव चरणकमलमिह मनसि लसतु मम नित्यम् गरुडगमन तव चरणकमलमिह मनसि लसतु मम नित्यम् मनसि लसतु मम नित्यम् Thank you.
Indian classical dance, as an art form, basks in the quintessence of sweetness, beauty, and the power of culture. Let's invite our friends to stimulate our concentration and creativity with a sublime classical dance. They become the right platform to exhaustively discuss matters of great importance, express incisive opinions, throw enormous challenges, and to provide profound insights into most stirring issues our contemporary society is facing. Now, the session opens up for a panel discussion on the topic peer learning versus learning from a teacher in classroom. Which works better and when? In humbleness, we would like to invite D. Venugopal sir to moderate the panel discussion. And we would also like to invite the following panelists: Yashashvi Dupam, Pramod, Manoj, Alvina Bhattacharya, and Samir.
Namaste everyone. We have with us today some of your colleagues who are also selected as, this tradition in Sri Prakash, right? That students who perform well on Teachers' Day as student teachers will be invited as a guests for Children's Day. That's a tradition. And students aspire to be as guests on that day. Hope somehow we missed out here, where they are just not panelists, they're also the guests of the day and student guests of the day. That's what we call. So we don't have your this thing. I think I would request each one of you to just give a brief about you, your family, and okay. So because they didn't collect it from you, normally that's how they invite you onto the dais, but somehow we missed it out. So I request you to do that. Okay.
Yashashvi Dupam.
Good afternoon, everyone. I hope that I'm familiar. I'm Yashashvi Dupam. I served as the sports president last year, and I'm the school captain of the Peddapuram campus. Both my parents are doctors, and I'm currently studying in +2 BPC. I state my hobbies as cricket and watching films. Thank you.
Master A. Samir to come on the dais.
Good afternoon, everyone present here. I'm Samir Abireddy. I'm from an agrarian family. My father is a farmer, and my mother is a homemaker. And I aspire to become an aerospace engineer and establish my own business on it. And my hobbies are cycling and reading books.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Ram Pramod of grade 12, and I have been the prefect boy of last year, and my hobbies are playing cricket and watching movies. Thank you.
Good afternoon, friends. I'm Manoj Kumar from +2 MPC Advance, and my mother is a homemaker, and we have a hotel in Peddapuram, and my hobbies are reading books and watching anime, and I want to become a software engineer.
Alvina Bhattacharya on the dais. And please give your short introduction.
Namaste everyone. I hope you are familiar with me. I'm your school's present school vice captain, Alvina Bhattacharya. My mother is a professor and my father is an engineer. It's nice to see such a good gathering out here, and I hope you enjoy the program. Thank you.
Respected Director Sir, Revered Professor Santanam Garu, and beloved Senior Principal Garu, Sri MVS Murthy Garu, my colleagues and students, Namaste. And here we find ourselves on the dais, a part of a panel discussion, and I am very much glad to be part of these student guests who also happen to be panelists here. And I take privilege to introduce them again. To my left, we have Mr. A. Samir, Mr. SSV, Mr. Pramod. To my right side, we have Ms. Alvina Bhattacharya and Mr. Manoj. And I am D. Venugopal, Faculty of English, and I am here in the role of the moderator. The topic given to the discussion is peer learning versus learning from a teacher in the classrooms, what works better and when. Dear friends, we have known very well in this contemporary world, we confront many things part of learning process, be it many like inhibitions or pressures or influences part of our learning process. And we find ourselves in dilemma to be which side, like for example, to be on the side of peers or to be on the side of the teachers. Most of the time, we cannot find a better solution. We tend to seek some advice from our elders, like father, parents, like that. In this situation, I would like to initiate this, this panel discussion has two-pronged question by itself. What works better and when? You kindly start, okay, between these two segments, peer learning, learning from the teacher, understand, which according to you, which stands more apt, okay, part of our learning process, okay? I would like to request Mr. Samir to initiate.
So we've been given with peer learning and teachers aided learning. So there are different scenarios at which this might work at their best levels. If we consider learning aided by teachers, I think I'm in support of that, as I'm not very much experienced with peer learning, and our day-to-day learning process is mostly constituent of learning which is aided by teachers. So even if we consider peer learning to be effective, the peer who accompanies us should have some knowledge priorly to help us gain knowledge about a subject or a topic. So that peer himself should get this knowledge from a teacher. So it might be irrelevant of the subject or the class or any other factors. Learning by teachers is the most effective as far as my opinion is concerned, and even if it forms the basis for peer learning. That's what my opinion about this learning aspect is.
Thank you, Mr. Samir. What would you express, Mr. SSV?
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, sir. This topic is such that it is complex to take one side. So I personally feel that teachers learning is much more efficient than peer learning, because I received that type of schooling and that type of education where learning was more from seeking from teachers. I haven't received or experienced much of peer learning, so I have a biased opinion on teachers learning. And I also feel that teachers provide that motivation and guidance which lacks in peer learning. Teachers are the guide and chief motivators of our life, not only in terms of the education they provide, the character they round, then make us about. Like, they arc us into a perfect personality, also taking into consideration our character, our discipline, and dedication towards any certain field. So I personally feel teachers' education is much more efficient.
Thank you, Mr. SSV. And here, in the backdrop of your opinions, these days we find more facilitation. Teachers as facilitators than teachers by themselves. So in this context, what is your view, Mr. Pramod?
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, sir. Even I stand with Yashashvi and Samir on this topic, and teachers being facilitators for us. It's in the past it hasn't been like that, but teachers evolved to become facilitators for us. And one problem I have with peer learning is there's more chance of having a wrong influence from our peers than from our teachers. And for people who are still younger than us, or who are still in the learning stages of their life, they won't be able to decide what's good for them and what's bad for them, and having a wrong influence in form of a peer can be devastating for them. So I trust teachers more than I trust my peers for making me a right person or making others a right person. And teachers are more experienced in molding a person in a right way than a peer. But one thing I can agree with being peer learning is the competitive side is much better with peer learning, and we need to the main purpose of our life is trying to get better, and because of peer learning we'll try to get better than what we are now, and by looking at our peers, and we'll try to learn from them, which is very essential. And it's not that we should only learn from one person. We need to try to get all the good aspects from each and every person we meet and try to take the positives out of them, and peer learning contributes in it. So I stand by both sides, and I stand on the side where we need to be open for learning, no matter if it's a peer or if it's a teacher, but we should be also aware of what's good for us and what's bad for us too.
Thank you, Mr. Pramod. And Ms. Alvina, I hope you have understood what Mr. Pramod has said just now. Perhaps he wants to straddle on two aspects or two sides. What is your opinion?
I agree with Pramod on that, because as the question has been already posed, which works better and when? So what I believe is that teachers learning from teacher, when a concept is fairly new, it's better to learn from a teacher because obviously they are more expert on the topic, they have more experience teaching that particular topic. But when a particular topic has been taught and we already know the details about it, peer learning is much better to practice that topic and revise that certain topic. So I stand on both sides, just like Pramod.
Thank you very much. And Mr. Manoj, kindly express your opinion.
Good afternoon, my friends. It's very glad to share the stage with us, sir. And my opinion about peer learning is, yes, there are some advantages and it can complement the traditional teacher-led instruction also, but it may not completely replace this teacher learning style because teacher play various roles while teaching. They act as a teacher, facilitator, mentor, guide, and they also motivate us whenever we stand low in the subject. So I think that particular motivation or that emotional aspect is very important while learning. But what I feel is while sharing with our peers, we may feel comfortable while talking, but at the later stage, they may mislead us, as our friend said, and the topic may get diverted or diluted just because we become friends and we talk something else. But teacher may not encourage the same in the classroom. And also the important thing is teacher, he while facilitating also he has some strategy. His or her strategy is very important in this aspect. For classroom of 30 to 25 people, regardless of whether the students are intelligent or not, teacher's plan will be such perfect that every one of them could understand what the gist of the topic is. But while one-to-one learning with peer, he or she may need to know what the level of our intelligence is, and according to that they have to plan the schedule. So I think, yeah, in a sweeping generalization, teachers teaching is more efficient than peer-to-peer learning.
Thank you, Mr. Manoj. And you all have addressed the first question. So between peer learning and learning from a teacher, most of you have voted in favor of taking the support of a teacher, part of your learning process, right? Now let us go to the question when. For example, we have primary to tertiary learning stages, okay? So in these stages, when exactly you look towards peer learning or learning from a teacher, like, kindly go ahead, Mr. Samir.
So the question is when each of the method is effective if we consider 3 stages of learning, primary, second and tertiary. I personally, as far as I'm capable of learning, I believe primary and secondary stages should be aided and complemented with teacher in the learning process. Whereas if we reach the tertiary level of learning, that is, if you are strong with our concepts and the theory which we delve into, I think at that stage it is better to be accompanied by a peer rather than a teacher, because we as a classroom as a whole will already have some prior knowledge on that field. So it really helps to create an environment where we are free to share our ideas. So it doesn't mean that we cannot share our ideas and thoughts with teachers, but with considering major number of students, we feel sharing ideas comfortable when we are with our peers. So at tertiary stage of learning, it is useful, and I believe it is necessary to be accompanied by a peer rather than a teacher. But if we consider an individual, his or her opinions might differ on this. But if my opinions were to be considered, I would say primary and secondary are to be accompanied by teachers. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Samir. And may I ask you, Ms. Alvina Bhattacharya, the same question, like when exactly should we look towards like peer learning or learning from a teacher, like which according to Mr. Samir, you have observed three stages of education, primary education to tertiary education. So he has opted for tertiary education, where exactly he said he needs the assistance of peers. What is your opinion?
I think I agree with Mr. Samir with whatever he said, because as I already said, when a topic is new, it's best taught by a teacher, because I believe that the teacher's approach towards a student is fairly structured and they are aware of what they are teaching the student. At the same time, as you already said, tertiary learning basically involves revision and practice. So I believe that when a student needs to practice a particular topic or revise it, peer learning is fairly better.
Thank you very much. Mr. SSV, I believe you have understood the opinions expressed by your friends. So how exactly it could be appropriate, opting for peer learning at tertiary education? Okay, don't you think the other two stages, don't you think they require any kind of peer learning?
So I actually forgot to mention this when we are actually answering the first question. We were talking what works in general, but as you rightly asked, we should also address the question when. When does peer learning and teacher learning exactly work? So according to me, as Samir rightly said, it works in the tertiary region of students' education. But if you think about it, teacher learning is really important, but sometimes peer learning can offer some insights which teachers can't offer us. They can provide us with some insights which teachers can't. So I believe we should also look at other side of the coin, because there are some situations where only peer learning could be efficient than teacher learning. For instance, if we take examinations time, we can't approach teachers for more strategies or personal tactics for how to write an exam, how to attempt an exam, because our peers, or we call seniors, they have more experience on what the situation is exactly going to be, what the tactics are going to work and what not. For instance, there are some of my friends who have their seniors as their tuition mentors. Why is that? Why is that working? Because as I said, they exactly know what the situation is going to be and how exactly are the tactics going to work. So this is just an example. So there are situations where peers can be more helpful than teachers. And I also agree with Samir that it works in the tertiary region of students' preparation.
Thank you, Mr. SSV. And Mr. Panos, coming to you, you have understood the point raised by Mr. SSV, Mr. Samir, and Ms. Alvina. What is your opinion like? So does it not work at school level? Like, or can't you stand, or can't you justify these two areas? As Mr. SSV has said, both sides of the coin. He has dealt with both sides of the coin. Like, what is your opinion?
Definitely, this is age-dependent criteria only. Even, for example, let us take a 4th class student. He cannot teach the topic for a fourth class student because their mind will be running towards playing games. Certainly even 10th class student also may not have this because their mind will be running towards mobile, or their mind will be running towards talking about their friends. So there are many distractions in school level, especially this friend circle is definitely harmful for peer learning. After teacher learning, even when I was in 10th grade, I used to prefer talking to my friends in my IIT batch about what are the questions we may likely face in the examination. And they used to have some plans. They used to not discuss with me some questions they have found which are very critical, so that just because I will know the strategy of doing it and applying the exam, so there will be some jealousy corner among competitors. Competition might be ultimately healthy, but still this factor may run inside. So at examinations time, yeah, we can discuss, but better to rely on ourselves and also have faith on the teachers about what they're teaching. And even if we have doubt, need not necessarily discuss with peers. After discussion also, you can approach the teacher because you'll have some guarantee about what is being correct. So I think peer learning sometimes can be toxic, but always need not be. If you have faithful peers with you, they'll definitely help you out with the solution. That's what I mean.
Thank you, Mr. Manoj and Mr. Pramod. I think you have understood the pluses and minuses between these two areas. What is your opinion?
So, sir, my opinion on this is at the starting stages of any new thing we want to learn, it's obviously better to have a teacher facilitate us to do what we should do, as everyone already mentioned. But one thing I want to add to this is the thing with peers is we'll have a lot of opinions and they look at things from a very different point of view, and having a lot of ways to look at things can be very beneficial for us to learn something. And I might not understand something by what the teacher said, and it's not their fault because they need to manage a lot of people and they need to make sure that everyone understands it, but sometimes it always doesn't work. So I might go to one of my peer and I might ask them how they understood it and how they are looking into the issue. And if we look into it, I might understand I might understand the topic better from my peer's point of view than my teacher's point of view. And it's not a bad thing. And as also Manoj mentioned, and also even I did mention it before, to have a wrong influence, but you need to have trusted peers around you. And the more you grow and the more you become mature, you will eventually know who are the good people around you and who are not. And it comes with time. So I think at the starting stages, it's obviously best to have a teacher facilitate you, but eventually we need to also talk to our peers and communicate them our issues and make a solution out of it.
Thank you, friends. One question, both sides. One of you from this side, either of you can respond. In a country as diverse as India, both privileges and prejudices prevail. When you talk about peer learning and learning from a teacher, where exactly we should stand, how judicious we should be. Yes, please. India is a vast country, as you know very well, with, for example, population and all, like the kind of relationship that exists between students and teachers, the kind of schooling ambience that is available to students understand. In this scenario, I say that there could be many privileges, advantages. On the other hand, there could be many prejudices, biases, understand, my dear, like selective treatments in this regard. So, can you really approach or access teachers, or can you access peers, part of your learning? That is my question. Yes, please.
Yes, India is a vast country and we have different perspectives, and many people may know what we may not know and what even teachers may not expect. There are a lot of intelligent students. For example, in Olympiad exams, we can easily find such kind of students who has that critical thinking level. And even in COVID time, I observed many student tutors begin their career in online tutors. So they started answering to the doubts and questions posted by other students because teachers were not all the time accessible at that time. So even if you don't know the peer face to face, you can still communicate because ultimate just is to have the correct answer and know the concept. So we can encourage and rely on new talent also. We can, because we have already seen how the traditional teacher learning is. So definitely encouraging this peer-to-peer learning and student tutors might bring some innovative things in the future. And as vast as our country is, there are many people. We can definitely encourage this kind of uh, procedure also. That's what I feel.
Thank you, Mr. Manoj. Is there anyone from your side? One of you please respond.
Yes, sir. Up to now, I think we're all on the same page. But as you have rightly mentioned, there is also another dimension to this topic, that India is a vast country, so are the beliefs and their belief systems. So I think our country being this populated and lots of children yet to be educated, I think everyone might not really get as many opportunities as others. So I believe that everyone don't get equal opportunities enough. As I've already mentioned, I received schooling and education where I have my opinion biased towards teacher learning. But there are also communities and sections where they believe that peer learning is much better, because a teacher alone can't take care of every child in a classroom. There are situations where students need to take care of themselves. So even in when you go to higher studies like UG and PG, education is more centered around peer learning. This is a fact actually. So I think when age is considered, school is somewhere that teacher learning is dominated, but eventually peer learning is something that will develop you as a better person.
Thank you, Mr. Sasvi. I believe you have talked at length about this topic and the nuances involved in this topic, like in this area. And I believe that this topic is of progressive nature. That means we cannot keep a full stop to this topic at this end. Excuse me. So let us find, like as I have said, it is of progressive nature. That means it goes on, what I mean, like multiplying, understand, like that. Before that, I would like to throw this session open to the audience. If there is any question, I would like to request you to pose it to the student guest panelists. Is there anyone?
You to imagine and come out with what sounds better for you as a learning space. 1, teacher discusses one topic in the class and then you go back, read and come back with doubts. 2, you read the lesson in advance, discuss with your peers and then note down your doubts and ask your teacher to clarify. In which case do you think students would be more engaged and ready to learn?
Good morning, sir. Good afternoon, sir. So what I think is that students will be more engaged in the second scenario, because in that case they have to first they have to learn the lesson, then they have to contact their peers, then they have to bring out doubts, and again they have to ask their teachers. So when it concerns engagement, I think the second scenario is more engaging.
Sir, even I agree with Alvina in this regard, because in the second thing, there's an aspect where self-learning is a thing, and I'm a huge believer in self-learning, and I have been doing it my whole life pretty much. And self-learning makes you get doubts which you might not get by listening to something or listening to teachers. And the aspect where peer learning is introduced, where you discuss it with the peers and then ask doubts to the teachers, is a really encouraging thing for our students. And as you said, discussing with peers will make you get more doubts, and it's not a bad thing as you have a teacher to back you up afterwards. And as long as you do it properly, you'll go much deeper into the topic. If we instead of the first option, so I stand by the second option too.
Sir, growing socially and emotionally, how far peer learning is useful? Growing socially and emotionally, how far peer learning is useful? Go with from 4th class.
Even you might know that you adopt some qualities from your friends, but one thing is it probably might be a bad thing too. So you might grow emotionally or socially if you try to adapt good things from your friends. And it's really important, as we already said, that you need to not stop yourself from learning no matter what. At every instant of time you need to be open to learn and get better with your life. And growing socially and emotionally plays a big part as long as you have good friends with you, and try to adapt good things from them. And sorry, yeah, that's what I wanted to say.
Hello. I'm quite actually surprised that you asked this on your own. And what I have to add to this question is that yes, peer learning is effective, as you also.
Please carry on.
So as you have asked, peer learning really helps us effectively. As Pramod said, when you discuss this with your friends, you get lots of perspectives and point of views and what you have to really learn. It is good to have various views on on a particular topic, because a teacher can't explain you the various dimensions involved in a particular topic. So learning by a teacher is one dimensional, is what I think. So if you discuss the topic with your peers and really enjoy the session, I think it helps us go deep into the topic. But one thing you have to also remember is that, as you asked, emotionally and socially, there are the peers who accompany you are not going to be there for you forever. So self-learning is also equally important with the guidance of your teacher. So thank you.
So, hello, first of all. That's a really in-depth question. I really appreciate that. So, if you want to grow socially, it's better to go for peer learning, because you can create more friends that way, right? And as for emotionally, as you grow in age, you'll also grow emotionally, okay?
So your question is peer learning useful in social and emotional development of a student? So I think it's really like a game of probability, because if you have a friend who can influence you in a positive way, then that will take you ahead if we consider socially, emotionally, and in your career. But whereas if you have a group of friends who try to influence you in a negative way, that will bring you down from the point where you are right now, irrespective of the field you want to grow further in. So I think that answer might help you a bit.
Thank you. Thank you, friend. Okay. Dear friends, we have touched upon various nuances related to this topic, and this discussion could be an end towards a means, not an end in itself. It needs to be, as it is a progressive nature, it needs to be talked upon, discussed, understand continuously. But new dimension, as you have pointed out, self-learning, understand. Many things matter part of this particular topic, okay? And we need to explore, they need to be explored constantly, consistently. Thank you, dear friends, for your time and space spent in this direction. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, friends. Thank you.
We sincerely believe has addressed many flaring concerns related to the topic and instilled depth faith in the educational system and the learning process we are all part of. Thank you, the moderator and the student guest, to have enlived in the rousing discussion. Thank you.
I request our chief guest, Y. Ravi Kumar, Circle Inspector Pedapuram, sir, and also I request our beloved director, sir, C.H. Vijay Prakash Garu, to give book bouquets to student guests.